Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is females incarceration in Tennessee, female incarceration in Tennessee. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about female incarceration in Tennessee, Miss Tanya Davis and Miss Tiffany Love, both who have excellent information in reference to some of the issues facing females incarcerated in the state of Tennessee. Let's start off, Ms. Love, by having you and Ms. Davis to give us some information in reference to your background, your education, and some of your experiences. And let's start off with you first, Ms. Love, to have you to deal with that.
Yes, I have a bachelor's degree in education, and I have a master's degree in licensed social work with a concentration in behavioral health. So I actually provide cognitive behavioral therapy. I work with patients and I work with people on an array of problems that they have. And I graduated from East Tennessee State University in Johnson City, so that's my background.
What about you, Ms. Davis?
Well, I am a licensed cosmetologist. I own a salon here in Nashville, Salon Ice. I'm also a recovering addict. I have been in prison before. I spent 2 years incarcerated in a federal prison, and I also did 18 months in a federal prison on a return sentence.
And so both of you have some information in reference to, and especially you, Ms. Davis, in reference to actually being incarcerated as a female, surrounded by other females and et cetera. And I think that you can give us a different perspective in terms of what goes on in the prison system. And of course, Ms. Love, you've got a lot of information in reference to self-esteem and some of the things that Ms. Davis has already accomplished in reference to after being outside of the system. Let's start off with you, Ms. Davis. Tell us something about female incarceration in the state of Tennessee.
Yes, well, there's different perspectives. There's the bad side and then there's the good side. The bad side is that you can go behind bars and you can get with the wrong crowd and do the same thing that you're doing on the outside. The good thing is that they offer opportunity. They offer opportunity to get your life in order and have a second chance. They offer education, they offer degrees, they offer self-awareness, self-esteem building. You can build your self-awareness and really get your life in order and come out and be a productive citizen. And you do have that opportunity.
And so all things in terms of being incarcerated, it might be a bad situation, but it also gives an individual, if he or she is willing to work on it, an opportunity to become a better person.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's what I did.
Now, within the context of what has been said about the prison system itself, overcrowded situations and et cetera. Now, we know that in many instances this might apply to the male part of the population, but what about the female?
Well, it's overcrowded. It is overcrowded, and it is a business, definitely. With commissary, they sell a lot. They make money off of phones for us to use the phone and stuff like that. But you know, everything's a business, of course. But I think again, you know, you have to take the opportunity at hand and do what you need to do. Like for instance, for me, having a restitution. The thing that I didn't like is that we have to still pay restitution while we're doing our time. Well, of course, we don't have the money, so it falls on our parents, our loved ones, and stuff like that. And I think that's unheard of, that they have to pay a price for what we've done. And so I would like to, you know, see something done about that. And then also, after the fact, that we come back and try to walk as a productive citizen, that felon follows us as far as job opportunities and stuff like that. We really don't get that second chance on that. That's why I became an entrepreneur for that, because I didn't get a chance to have that fair chance on having the opportunity to get a job. They say that some of the jobs are felon friendly. That's not the case, because if Tiffany applies for the job and I apply for the job and I have a felon, of course she's going to get the opportunity first. And then, of course, as far as voting rights, I don't have those voting rights. The sad thing for me is that I didn't get a chance to vote for Obama, you know, and so I would like to see a change on that too, and that opportunity to be, you know, able to vote. But of course, you know, we can't let those things or those opportunities stop us from being a productive citizen, and I did not let that happen.
And of course, Ms. Love, we're getting ready for our first commercial break. We'll come back and then we'll start with you. But I think that what Ms. Davis has given us is some excellent information, and maybe in the third segment, I want you to talk more about restitution, which is to say that what is this all about? And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. .5 minutes about whatever. Then I want you to talk about your book,
Okay.
from Christ to Christ.